Is there a perfect job for you? Is there a perfect job for your neighbor, your friend, your family member? Is there a perfect job? It's easier for us, most often it's easier for us to look at a friend and offer advice, look at a family member and offer advice and say, you know what, this job, it's not for you, but there's a better job out there. There's a better job for you. We can tell other people that, but when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to telling ourselves what we should do, we hesitate. Oftentimes we don't even tell ourselves that there is something better because we're so trapped. We're so wrapped up in this job that we just don't like. And this job consumes us. And by the time we get home, we're all worn out. Our energy's drained and we just don't have that. We just don't have the energy. We don't have the desire to try to think about what could be better for us. But we're sure as heck good at telling other folks what they should do. But there is a perfect job out there for us. There's a perfect job out there for you if you just look. And therein lies the problem. Most of us, as I said, we don't look. And I understand why, as I mentioned. Sometimes we don't have the energy. We're tired. We're worn out. But we can tell other folks what we should do, but we don't know ourselves. So how do you find that perfect job for you? Well, my number one thought is always going to be my number one suggestion. My bit of advice for you is to find something that you love to do. We're older, we're over 50 years old. There's plenty of things that we have done in our life that we have loved, but forgotten about how much we love doing it. Find that job, that perfect job by number one, deciding on what makes you happy. What'll put a smile on your face if every day you go in and you do this? Every day, not one day a week, not a few days a week. Every day, if you were doing this, what would make you happy? That's your perfect job. What makes you happy? Now, I get there are folks out there that say, Lou, I got a lot of things that make me happy, but you know what, Lou? Can't make money at it. Can't make any money at it. I forget about it, man. Forget about it, Lou. Good idea, bud, but you know what? Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. They don't think they can make money at something. Let me give you an example of somebody who took what I think is just some obscure little ideas and turned it into a very profitable business, making 6 figures a year. And the person I'm talking about is a person who has a business actually in my neighborhood. And what he does is he rescues fish. And I'm not talking about going into a lake, our lake next to us or in our area is called Lake Erie. No, I'm talking about aquariums. He rescues fish. So what happens is somebody calls him on the phone and says, hey, I've got this fish tank, this aquarium, and I no longer want to care up for these fish. They're just too much trouble. Could you come over and get these fish or give them to you free? So what does he do? He hops in his van and he drives over and he takes the fish and takes them home. And then what he does is he resells, or I should not say resell, he sells these fish. Some of them he keeps. He's got this big backyard, and some of these fish he just happens to keep. But he took this little idea, this business, I'm going to help people who don't want their aquarium, who don't want their fish, and I'm going to make a business out of it. And I don't think he actually thought about doing a business until it started becoming something where he was making money at it, and then it started growing, and then he started seeing that he's making $10,000 or more, actually more than that per month. I think he makes about 10 grand, over 10 grand just on YouTube each month. So let me say this to you, an obscure idea, being creative, trying to decide how can I make money at this. Here's another one for you, another story. Got a friend, and this is a good friend of mine, retired early, worked as, I believe it was a financial analyst at a company, hated the job, actually got sick going in and doing that job every freaking day. He got sick of doing that job. So he ends up retiring early, decides he's going to do one of his passions, his main passion, which is to go out and just take pictures of birds, just takes pictures. Not just of birds, mostly birds, but also other animals as well. I've seen him post pictures on his Facebook page of deer, of beaver. The other day he had this beaver that him and his wife actually ran into on a trail. But he takes these incredibly beautiful wildlife photos. So now what he's looking to do is to determine how he can make money at this business. And I'm actually going to be meeting with him in the next couple of days, and we're going to be talking about how he can take this and turn it into a money-making venture. But his photos are so good because he's got a passion. He loves what he does. Doing this puts a smile on his face. When he goes out and shoots these animals, these birds, he just has a smile on his face because he's so darn happy, so damn happy doing it. And that's what it takes, is being happy, finding something that puts a smile on your face. Because if it's not that job, there is a perfect job out there if you look for it. And that's the theme here. Look for that perfect job. Be creative. Chances are that perfect job, chances are it's out there for you.